Hi everybody and welcome to episode 1 of Barley, Hops, and Yarn podcast. My name is Jennifer. I'm the owner-operator of Barley, Hops, and Yarn, and I thought I'd give my hand a go at podcasting and seeing what this looks like. I live in Mount Airy, Maryland. I have 2 cats, a dog, a husband, and my parents live in the same house with us. I opened my own little baby yarn dyeing business on July 1st of 2022, and that's what Barley, Hops, and Yarn is. You can find me on Etsy and Instagram, which I will link down below. But yeah, so welcome. I don't know really what to start with. I didn't bring out any finished objects as of late because y'all haven't seen me have any whips, so I just kind of figured I'd start from scratch. The main thing I've been working on, which I just realized I left inside, is a sorrel sweater. I'm using a fade set that's Lord of the Rings themed that Rocky Mountain Yarn Co. made. I can show you what'll be in the middle of it because it's this one, and I'm making a pair of socks with this as well. So I think this is called Wood Elves, maybe, that sounds right. I didn't bring my tags out with me like a responsible podcaster would be, but it's my first one, so cut me some slack. I'll have them next time. But I also got a sock set from her because I am a big nerd. I love Lord of the Rings. I'll be honest, I have not read all of the books, but that's because I always get bored at the part where the Ents are singing, and I'd rather watch that in a movie. But I grew up watching the movies a lot with my dads. My dad's singular dad, I only have one. I could probably quote the movie as we're watching it, almost word for word. Oh, maybe this one's Buckleberry Fairy. No, I think that's a darker one. One of the colorways is definitely Buckleberry Fairy, and then this one, like I said, I think is Wood Elves. Anyway, that's a lot of rambling. So this was a sock set, came with 2 minis. This is what I've got so far on one sock. This is what I've got so far on the other. If my hands would work, that would be helpful. But I love the way it's pooling. I love this kind of tealy dark blue color. Sorry, I shouldn't cover my face when I'm talking, but again, it's my first podcast, so be nice to me. I don't normally make my socks 2 at a time, but I really wanted to I've never used a contrasting color in socks before, so I really wanted to make sure I'm not gonna run out by the time I get to the toe, or at least if I do, that it'll look even and it'll, have the same amount of the blue for the toe. So I'm excited to have these done. I started them not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago. I don't know. Socks are mainly what I do for my car knitting or on the go knitting, or if I'm out at a brewery, which happens fairly frequently. Hence the name Barley, Hops, and Yarn. I actually have a beer here. I'll probably be drinking a beer every time I do this. I haven't tried this yet, although I did just open it, so I should probably try it in a second. It's called Skies Out, Thighs Out. It is by Rusty Rail Brewing, based out of Pennsylvania, and it's a pink sour lemonade. It says it has flavors of lemon, and dragon fruit in it. So let's see. Definitely lemony. I'm not getting too much of the dragon fruit, but I can see how it's kind of pink lemonade flavor. I like it. I'm on a sour kick right now. I will pretty much drink any beer you put in front of me. Right now, I'd say my least favorite kinds are darks and stouts. I haven't really gotten too much into those ever in my life. But like I said, I'm on a sour kick, so I've been drinking a lot of those lately. Anyway, so you'll probably see socks often because I always have socks on the needles. If you see me look to the left, it's because my kitty cat is out here with me. His name is Sam. I love him. I do my socks on a US size 1.5, which is 2.5 millimeters. I do 64 stitches, 72 if I want it to be loose and scrunchy. I have big feet, I have big calves, so I go for a bigger size. I usually do a 15 row cuff because I detest ribbing. I absolutely hate ribbing. And then just kind of go from there, heel flap and gusset, because I don't know, I feel like it works best. And I'm cuff down always. I don't like doing toe up. I feel like I always get weird gaps when I do toe up, so I don't like doing toe up. All right, so that's a mess, but I'll set that off to the side. Then next thing I have that I've literally been working on for 2 years because I'm just not loving it that much. It'll be finished eventually. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the pattern, but I will link my Ravelry down below, and I have project pages going for that. I've got a decent size on it, but it is a shawl. It's a chevron kind of pattern, textured chevron there. The yarn dyer, I believe, is Forbidden Fiber Co. And I want to say are based out of Tennessee. Not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure the colorway is called Blue Bonnet, which is the state flower of Texas. Whatever the state flower of Texas is, that's what this colorway is called. And it's just kind of a nice, variegated-ish blue. I like the color a lot. I'm fine with how the yarn's knitting up. I'm just not loving this project. So I already have a stitch marker for where I last worked on it. I'm not going to move my stitch marker because I haven't really worked on it more than 2 rows since I last did it. So we'll see if I make any progress from the next time I record a video. Who knows? We'll see. It'll be finished eventually. It's kind of how I feel about it. It is supposed to be a gift for somebody. They have no idea I'm making it, so that's part of why I don't necessarily feel a rush to work on it, because they'll get it when they get it. Yeah, so that's that one. Let's see, what else? I am making an opal tank. I don't remember who the designer is, but again, all of that will be linked in my Ravelry, which will be linked down below. I'm not I'm like probably about halfway done the front panel. It's done in panels. I'm knitting this up in my own colorway, which is Hell or High Watermelon, inspired by one of my favorite beers of all time, which is Hell or High Watermelon. I love the artwork on it and the colors, so it's not showing up that great in this video. It's a little bit lighter and more pastel-y in person. But I have done, let's see, this was 10 inches, 11, 12, about 12.5 inches of the front panel. I'm supposed to go to, I think, 15.5 before I start doing the top panel, chest panel part of it. So hopefully you guys will see at least a front panel done right now. I am at home quarantining because I've had a COVID exposure and I work in healthcare, so that means I don't get to go to work when I have had a COVID exposure. So I would think that I'd be getting a lot of knitting done, but I'm really not. I've been more productive around the house, which has been nice, but it means I haven't really gotten much done knitting wise, so that's okay. Another thing I'm working on that is a gift is a baby blanket. Baby's already 4 months old. Dad's okay. I always make my baby blankets large enough that they can use it well into at least toddlerhood, because I'm not making something for you that's this time consuming for you to use it when you can't remember it. So I have baby blankets that I know I had that I used well into toddlerhood that I still remember as an adult. And plus I guess I just don't, not even just the remembering it, but what's the point in making a blanket for somebody that they can only use for a small portion of their life? Although I guess past toddlerhood is still a small portion of your life, but I guess you guys get what I'm saying. So this is it. Don't remember the exact pattern name. Know it's something geometry or geometric. The yarn I'm using, I saved the one for this one, is a Mandala Lion brand in the colorway Nifflers. That's a fun name, Nifflers. I always do 2 skeins of it, again, because I make them larger. I am on the 2nd skein, so I'm halfway done. Oh, found a tape measure, look at that. So yeah, I am over halfway done, but I just really need to sit down and work on it. I have a hard time working on this because you have to count to 13 at some points of the pattern, and I can't count past 3 and talk at the same time. So yeah, it's a little difficult to work on for me when I have to pay attention to what other people around me are saying. So that's part of why this sits on the back burner, because I have to think when I do it, and I don't like thinking when I knit. But I mean, I love how it's turning out. Like, I love the triangles that are coming up. I think it's beautiful. It's really soft and it's really squishy. It's warm, which is another reason why I'm not working on it, because it's warm outside, as you can see by my face getting kind of red. But I have made a baby blanket for this person I'm gifting it to once before, and their son is, I guess, almost 3 now. That's weird to think of. Anyway, their son is almost 3 now, and he still uses the blanket and he still loves it. So I know that this family is going to appreciate this and love it, even though I'm getting it to them after baby is already born. But again, it's summer, it's warm out, baby's not going to use it right now anyway, so it's fine. I got time. It's fine. No big deal. Alright, beer break. Talking too much. Although I guess talking too much is what I'm supposed to do in a podcast. Let's see, what else do I have? I have one other whip that I brought out, but I feel like I have another one somewhere. I just threw away not threw away. I unraveled a couple. I did throw away 2 because they were all with acrylic yarn, and I'd rather just be gone with it. And you know, obviously it costs money, but not as much money as hand dyed or wool or anything like that. So one was a temperature blanket from 2020. I got to June-ish, and it surprisingly wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. I was doing it in moss stitch, so I think that made a difference because I'm always a lot tighter in moss. But anyway, wasn't loving it, wasn't working on it, hadn't touched it for almost 2 years at this point because it's now August of 2022. So I got rid of that. I was making a mermaid blanket in super neon-y colors, and I didn't swatch because I don't swatch because I'm lazy. It's the easiest way to say that. I don't know, I just don't swatch. And it turned out to be way too big. It was also the first project I ever worked on that started joining something in the round, so I didn't even really know about swatching or anything like that. No, whatever, is what it is. That is also in the trash, but I still have a ton of neon yarn. So anyone have any suggestions on what to do with neon yarn? Well, let me know. That's not the front page. I don't think I have the front page. Quick pause. No, I do not have the front page because that was a waste of ink in my mind, I guess. Okay, so this next thing I'm working on is a total shit show in my bag because I have 3 or 4 skeins of yarn going, because this is all hand dyed by me and it's the first thing I ever dyed, so there's a lot of variation, both work, in the yarn. So I'm doing a lot of skein altering, which means a tangle of yarn management is not going super well. But this is the beginnings of a cardigan, All of the Lights by Joji Locatelli. Don't work on this one as much as I want to. Again, because it's a lot of yarn management, I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, I have to think, and a lot of times when I'm home, I can't do that because I have 3 other adults that live in the household with me, so they're coming up and talking to me all the time, which is fine. Love my family, love interacting with them, just sometimes makes working on complicated patterns a little bit more difficult. This will be the first cardigan I've ever made, and I kind of went home and I went big, so it's a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be because there's a lot of cabling and texture and lace and things like that. I think that the sweater is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I can show you this part of it here. I think it's absolutely beautiful and stunning. It just means I have to pay attention to it while I work on it. I have ADHD, not great at paying attention to things. That's why all of my socks are vanilla, because my socks are mindless knitting. They're all gonna be vanilla. It'll be rare that you ever see me with a pattern. But this is, I can kind of show you. I have the shoulder panel and I'm starting down on the back. And you can see part of what I mean when I said that this is all dyed by me and it's the very first thing I ever dyed. So it's this is super light, this is super dark, this is the same skein. Is what it is. It's for me. I love it anyway. It'll be good. Yeah, so again, I have the shoulder panels in the back done. I don't know if you can really see the pattern. That is a little what I'm concerned of too, is that there's so much going on in this yarn that it's going to be kind of difficult to see the pattern in it. Worst case scenario, I'll make the pattern again in hi Sam. I'll make the pattern again in a less busy yarn, or I'll tear it out and make a different cardigan pattern in this yarn, but I don't know, we'll see. Not that far on it, so I feel like it's kind of hard to judge where it's going to end up when I have, let's see, like 4 inches, 1, 2, 3, 5 inches done of it. It's hard to judge that when I don't have much done. So there's that. I do have a needle tattooed on my finger that is exactly 2 inches long because I watch We Share Needles and I've watched some of Chevis's podcast and I got that idea from them, but mine is just a needle. A lot of people say it looks like a wand. I don't care. I love it. Makes me happy. Yeah, so those are all of my knitting whips. Oh, no, it's not. I have one more. So I'm making a hexie puff blanket. I don't have much done on it yet, but that's one that's a lot of fun to just do and sit when I'm on the couch watching TV with my husband at the end of the day. Problem though, my dog really likes to go after the filling and my dog really likes wool, so I can't leave anything out. I have my filling, my stuffing on my couch right now, which will probably be on the floor by the time I come back in. This is my bag of scraps so far. I mean, obviously this is 50 grams. Not all of this is going to go in the Hexi Puff blanket, but I want to do, I've discovered that 7 to 8 grams of yarn makes 3 Hexi Puffs for me. So I figure, you know, I'll make a couple out of this and then set it aside for another project. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Both of these were in a Freer Vid, I think it's called, by Andrea Mowry. Is that who makes it? I don't know. Again, it'll be linked. I use 50 grams each of these. Then I have a blue color that I used. I have a lot left over of the blue color, but I was thinking maybe I'd make some mittens, colorwork mittens or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, I have a lot of little baby ones in here too that I'll make a few out of. So I keep I keep laying them out. I only have like, I don't know, 15, 20 Hexi Puffs made, not very many, and I keep laying them out on the bed and showing them to my husband one, and I'm like, look at my blanket, look how big it is already. And he just kind of shakes his head. And then after I finish one, when we're on the couch, I just chuck it at him because that's fun. So eventually he'll have had hundreds of Hexi Puffs thrown at him. Oh, I'm so sorry, I just kicked my cat. Yeah, so there's that. Other thing to show you guys, since it'll be, you know, very first podcast, you guys get to see something I'm working on, is I'm making a new colorway collection for my shop. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet, or what the names of either of these skeins are. I have about 5 or 6 colorways that are going to go into the shop. Haven't fully decided yet how, or not necessarily into the shop, of course you're going to into the shop, but 5 or 6 colorways for this collection. Haven't decided on the total count yet, but this is the first one. I am in love with this yellow color and how it turned out, and there's just a little bit of black in there as well. I mean, I'm thinking I might even just add this to the shop with no black and do just the yellow color, because I am absolutely in love with it. I don't even like yellow that much as a color. My color palette tends to be a lot more of grays and blues and greens. I feel like I've been dyeing up a lot of kind of more bright stuff than what I normally like. Sorry, this is not a beautiful position to see me in, but whatever. Okay, we'll wrap that up later since I'm struggling. This is the other one. It is primarily red and black with a splash of light blue. I'm in love with this one too. This one took me like 4 or 5 tries, which I know doesn't seem like that many, but when you're a baby yarn business, it's, you know, a bit to get exactly how I wanted. I had a problem with the blue, that it kept coming out way too dark for me for what I was looking for. But yeah, I love it. This is great. It took a while to get what I wanted, but I got what I wanted. Yeah, so that's everything I have going on right now. Those are my 2 colorways that I figure it might take me about a month to get this collection going. I have a lot going on in life. I have a family member that has cancer and is about to have surgery for that. They just finished their chemotherapy trials, which is great. Like I said, I had a COVID exposure, so I'm out of work for the next few days. I was supposed to go out of town this weekend, and so every year I go to Deep Creek, Maryland, with my mom and her job, because they have a work retreat that they go on. I don't know why I'm messing with that. They have a work retreat that they go on every year, and so I kind of get to go for free. I also get roped into helping with all the administrative work and stuff, because that's what my mom does, but I get to go for free, stay in a hotel room, eat for free, do all of that. And while they're in their work conference, I sit by a fire pit and I knit. And I don't get to do that this year because COVID sucks. I don't know if I'm gonna have any issues because I keep saying COVID. I know everybody else that I watch doesn't say it or just calls it the C word or whatever, but well, we'll see. So that's part of why I'm disappointed that I'm not getting as much knitting done right now, because outside of recording a podcast, I would be sitting in front of a fire pit knitting right now if I had been able to go on this work retreat with my mom, but that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, so outside of knitting, I like to read. Right now, I mistakenly started reading the Wheel of Time series, which I don't know if any of you know anything about it, but it is a 14 book series, and all of the books are like, I don't know, 1,500 iPhone pages long, 30 to 40 hours of listening if you have the audiobook, and then I think the ones I have on my couch right now are like 900 book pages long. So I'm on the 4th one. I've taken a little bit of a break from reading it, and I just listened to an audiobook, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, I think is the author's pen name. I know they have another pen name, and that's not actually their legal name. That's just a pen name they have. And it felt nice to have a little bit of a break from the giant fantasy world that is The Wheel of Time, but I also didn't really love that book. I read another book by Riley Sager, and I had the same kind of feeling where I was interested, but it moved really slow and I just didn't love it. So I think that, at least for that particular author, I won't necessarily seek out their books if they're in my Libby app because my mom is reading them or someone else is reading them. Then I'll go ahead and read it too, but I'm not gonna waste one of my holds on it. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with reading. I actually haven't been doing much TV watching lately. We have a really bad glare on our TV when it's daytime, and so it's been annoying me to have that on, and so many of the shows that I've been watching lately are really dark because they're true crime or mystery or anything like that, so that makes the glare even worse because even when I turn the brightness up on my screen, the TV is dark, so I can't really see what's going on. I just got 7 minutes into The Bear on Hulu because I've heard a lot of good things, and my husband's a chef, so I thought it would be, I've heard a lot of praise about how The Bear portrays back of house interactions with each other. I got 7 minutes in. I was really entertained and enjoying it, but it's dark. This screen is dark and everything, and having the glare off the window I couldn't see. So I'll try to watch that later on when it's not as bright outside and let y'all know what I think. Juan and I just finished Resident Evil last night, which I loved. It was cheesy. Not all of it was cheesy, but some of it was really cheesy, and I found it to be quite entertaining. I think I liked it a lot more than he did. I'm not a movie person. My 2 favorite movies are Donnie Darko and Sweeney Todd, so if I do like movies, that would be an implication of what kind of movies I like, but I also don't really do horror movies or gore or anything like that. We turned on the other night the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that Netflix did, and I got, I don't know, 20 minutes in, and I was like, I'm not doing this, I'm going to bed. So, I don't know, I can't sit still for that long of a period of time. Like, at least with TV shows, I get a break after every show. I can pause it and not feel bad and get up and do whatever I need to do, but whatever. Juan likes movies. I don't. That's okay. We don't have to agree on that. But yeah, I think I'm out of things to talk about, so I'm at 23 minutes. I feel like that's a pretty good length. I think that for this particular episode, I will throw it up on YouTube and see how it goes from there. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really know what this is going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to do kind of vlog style. Sorry, the neighbor's dog is barking. I don't know if I'm going to do kind of vlog style throughout time and do upload once every 2 weeks, once a month. I don't knit very fast. So part of my concern is actually having content to show you guys because I am a relatively slow knitter. And I also have a full-time job that I can't knit at my desk, even though I would absolutely love to because I spend a lot of time on hold. So that cuts into my knitting time because I have to work and bring in a paycheck so that I can buy yarn to knit. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see what this looks like. I hope you guys have enjoyed the past 25-ish minutes of hanging out with me and listening to me ramble because I've talked a lot. I'm gonna list my Etsy Ravelry Instagram down below. That's where you can find me. Feel free to reach out. Let me know what I could do better. Let me know what you want to hear more of. I feel like my cucumber plant behind me has just slowly gotten sadder and sadder over the past 25 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and water that now. My cat is still under the table. I'd pick him up and show him, but he's too far away for that. So maybe you guys will meet him next time. We'll see. His name is Sam. He's a large orange fluffy kitty. He is not actually you can sort of see that. My logo is my prior cat. His name was Barney, not Sam. But that's okay. You guys can say it, Sam. That'll be fine. they're both orange fluffy cats, so same thing, right? They'll share a brain cell anyway. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out with me for the past 25 minutes, and I hope you come back for episode 2, whenever that may be. Be kind to each other. I feel like we could use a lot of that, and have a great day. Bye!